The Marvel Cinematic Universe has grown in popularity over the years not just because of the awesomely paced storylines, splendid effects, or perfect interconnection of the storylines. The universe has its impeccable casting to thank as well. For the casting of fans' favorite gorgeous Captain America, Star Trek's new Spock almost got the role, and it seems he was not the only one who auditioned for the role. As we check out how Ethan Peck almost got the role of Captain America, let's check out other actors who almost got the role as well, shall we? How Star Trek's Spock almost got the role of Captain America. One of the remarkable attributes of the MCU is their skills in picking the perfect actor for their roles, especially for their superhero characters. Their actors do not only act out their roles, but embody their characters effortlessly. I mean, take a look at Robert Downey Jr. It is almost impossible to see anyone else in the role of Iron Man. The role seems to have been created perfectly for him. It seems impossible to picture another actor in Thor's costume and actually radiate obnoxiousness, strength, and charisma as he does. He's just the perfect fit for the role. Look at Thor: Love and Thunder, for example. Jane looked cool in the costume, but she couldn't radiate the same energy and vibes as the original Thor. Chris Hemsworth almost seems impossible to be copied or replaced. Same as other roles like Black Widow, Captain America, Doctor Strange, and more. Don't even get us started on Doctor Strange. The costume looks like it was perfectly cut for his genius and ego. Evil Doctor Strange hits just as hard as his alter ego. Now, it seems like the spandex superhero almost got into the hands of someone else, as hard as that can be to believe it's actually true. It's understandable to doubt it, with Chris Evans having perfect America's ass, but the new Spock on Star Trek, Strange New World, and Star Trek Discovery almost got the role. Ethan Peck, the actor who currently plays the role of Spock in Star Trek, mentioned how he almost became Captain America at Atlanta's 2022 DragonCon. So what prompted this revelation? He was questioned about his most memorable audition, and he mentioned the Marvel audition. The interesting thing was he almost made the role of uptight Steve Rogers. He was one of the smaller few considered for the role, but unfortunately didn't get it. That wasn't the only superhero role he missed out on. Apparently, he had also auditioned for the role of The Deep in The Boys, the dark superhero drama. He mentioned another audition which was memorable to him, but it's kind of difficult to characterize this audition as hilarious because he said it was a terror for him. He mentioned that he was in an audition reading for Spielberg or someone of that caliber, and he got the call back for the role, but when he was just one person away from being called, he had forgotten his lines. You might wonder where the humor in this account is. Well, the audition didn't happen in real life, but occurred in his dream, but I guess it must have been scary to have the same disappointing dream over and over again. Now that we know Ethan Peck wasn't the only one who tried out for the role, it wouldn't be bad to know other Steve Rogers wannabes. Let's check out other actors who also auditioned for the role. Interesting fact, there were not just a few actors that auditioned for the role, but loads of them. A few of them actually landed other Marvel roles. First up is Sebastian Stan. Now that is quite surprising because we got to see Stan in the first Avengers, the Captain America sequels, and even in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. We even saw him in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We know him as James Buchanan Barnes, often called Bucky, Steve Rogers' best friend. Bucky and Rogers have amazing chemistry, so it is a bit surprising that he had auditioned for the role of Captain America at the start. Marvel's impeccable casting is in play again. He is just the perfect Bucky turned Winter Soldier, and we'll be seeing more of him as a member of the Thunderbolts. Next we have The Office's John Krasinski. Now that we know Jim Halpert almost got to wear Captain America's suit on our screens, it is almost impossible to unsee it. It would have been really hilarious to hear him say Rogers' catchphrase, "I can do this all day." Well, it turns out that he actually tried out the suit, meaning he went really far up in the audition. He was very close to getting the role. Chris Hemsworth admitted that he had indeed seen Krasinski half-suited and even said he looked good in it. We can't really argue with that, judging from his cameo in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. He was Mr. Fantastic in an alternate Earth, and he actually looked great suited up. In fact, there are speculations that he might reprise his role as Mr. Fantastic in the upcoming Marvel movie, Fantastic Four, set to be released on November 8th, 2024. Apparently, Chris Pratt almost got got the role too. Yes, the very same Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Fun fact, he was actually not invested in trying out for either role, but casting director Sarah Finn urged him to audition, and when he wasn't right for the part of Captain America, his audition got him the role of Gamora's thorn in her flesh. Daredevil's Wilson Bethel also graces this list. The Daredevil star also tried for the part of Steve Rogers, but he didn't get it. He even went as far as trying the suit on screen. At that time, he was very glad that he was so close to making the role his, and was kind of disappointed when Chris Evans got the role instead. Things came around for him when he was cast as Bullseye in Marvel's Daredevil, which was on Netflix up until 2018. Next up is Jensen Ackles. Ackles is known for his role as Dean Winchester on Supernatural, and he was also one of the actors that auditioned for Captain America. He auditioned for Steve Rogers, but since the role had already been given to Chris Evans, he was offered the role of Hawkeye instead, but he declined that role because of scheduling conflicts. However, we got to see him in a suit similar to Captain America's in season 3 of The Boys. Then we have Kellen Lutz. Gorgeous and super strong Emmett Cullen had also auditioned for the role of Captain America, and that was not the only one he had auditioned for. He also went for the role of Thor, the God of Thunder, but unfortunately he got neither. He didn't end up in the Marvel Universe, but he got a titular role in 2014, The Legend of Hercules. Another potential Rogers was Scott Eastwood. Some might know him as the son of the director and award-winning actor Clint Eastwood, but around the time he auditioned for the role of Rogers, he hadn't established himself in the acting industry yet. Although he wasn't so popular then, he put in a lot of effort for the role, but just didn't get it. He's built a solid career for himself now, and he's still bent on playing Wolverine, yet another Marvel character. To perfectly execute the role of Wolverine, he would be filling the shoes of the legendary Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. Then we have Ryan Phillip. Phillip is an actor better known for his roles in movies of the late 90s, such as Cruel Intentions, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and 54. Perhaps it was for the best that he didn't get the role because his busy schedule wouldn't have afforded him time to be with his little children at the time. Finally, we have Wyatt Russell. Wyatt Russell, son of superstar Kurt Russell, auditioned for the part of Captain America in 2010, but didn't get it. The young actor was pretty new to acting at that time, and he admitted that he had not even gone into the audition to compete for the role. Rather, he had gone just to check if he could do it. Of course, he didn't get the role then because Chris Evans was the right man for the job. However, about 10 years after his audition for the role, he actually got to wear the Captain America suit on camera. He got the role of John Walker in the series, The Falcon, and the Winter Soldier. And ironically, his character wasn't suited to be Captain America. It's pretty funny that the role rejected him twice, but it doesn't seem Marvel is done with him as he later transitioned into US Agent into the series. In the new ensemble movie, Thunderbolts, set to be released on July 26, 2024, Russell will be reprising his role as US Agent as a member of the new Avenger-like group. And that concludes today's video. What actor would have pulled off Steve Rogers? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for stopping by.